Hi everyone, welcome to your November 2022 Tarot predictions. My name's Cailin, and today, instead of astrology, I'm doing tarot. And for those of you who've never seen a tarot video on here, fun fact, the very first video I ever posted to CAISTROLOGY was a tarot video. So really going back to my roots, and got a bit of a Halloween, a little bit of a Halloween vibe going on. So I'm just going to light my favorite candle. This is pumpkin spice. And I'm really sad because it's limited edition, which means that I actually won't be able to repurchase this candle. So it is a glasshouse candle. If anyone can source one for me, I would love it. Okay. So I hope that you're all comfortable. I'd recommend getting a tea or a coffee or a drink or something that's just going to help you relax into this vibe today. And first and foremost, I am just going to clear the energy. So I'm going to ring this bell 3 times. If you're wearing earphones, this might be a little bit loud, so fair warning. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 pick a card readings. Obviously, this is a live streamed event, so if you are here watching live, hello. Now, I'm going to get you guys to choose between the 4 crystals. I'm going to go through these one by one. So the first group, pile 1, this is amazonite. So if you feel drawn to this crystal, I'll be starting with amazonite first. Now, this is lemon quartz for group 2. Okay, this is black obsidian, and this one here is amethyst. Okay, so once again, this is group 1, 2, 3, and 4, amazonite, lemon quartz, black obsidian, and amethyst. So I will put timestamps later, but for now, because it's live stream, I can't do that. So I'm just going to leave this little guy just over here where you can see him. So this is for group 1. Just give me one moment, guys. One sec. Okay, thanks for waiting. So this is for group 1 for amazonite. I'm just going to pull an oracle card first just to see what your energy is like at the moment. Just a sec. Okay. Okay. Straight away, we have remembrance, which says resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. So this is the current energy that you're in. We have just had Mars station retrograde at the end of October. So lots of you will have memories that are coming back up to the surface around this time. And of course, we are in between eclipses at the moment. So the energy of group 1 feels quite heavy, but as though you guys are ready for a brand new beginning. It actually feels like there's a new chapter that is starting for you guys that you have some sort of awareness of, but it's like you're waiting for that first signal that this is actually real and that this is actually going to happen. And it does feel like there's a fair bit of doubt with you guys at the moment, group number 1. So I do feel like there's been a little bit of a false start with this new chapter that's beginning. So let's just see what this might be in relation to. Okay, King of Cups. So To me, this feels like a brand new chapter with respect to your emotions and your coping mechanisms. For some of you, this could also be to do with a relationship or an important connection, but I just really feel like there's a lot of doubt and a lot of hesitancy with really giving into your longing for this new chapter or for this new journey to commence. So let's just get some more information on this straight away. Okay, we've got the Three of Wands here and it was reversed. So to me, this indicates that this is something that you've actually tried to do before. And it's like something got in your way at the very last moment. And now I feel like your confidence has been a bit knocked, or that your there's just a lot of uncertainty with this new start that's coming through. So let's just get more information about this new chapter. Oh, we've got the Empress. Okay, so for some of you, this very much is connected to love. For others of you, this is to do with something creative, something that you're really passionate about. And, you know, for some of you, this could be to do with really like exploring your natural gifts and your natural talents. Now let's have a look at what happened with the setback. Okay, so this is the energy that you're in right now. And we're obviously looking at November here. So, okay, what happened in the past? Eight of Cups. So to me, this indicates that this opportunity slipped away from you, or that with this relationship, maybe the other person expressed doubts or concerns. There may have even have been a breakup, and now there's like this revival. There's this second chance that's coming through. So let's just get some advice for you with what you need to know about this. Okay, we've got don't let pride get in your way. All right, so for some of you, you may have experienced, and that says full moon in Leo. So you may be a Leo sun, moon, or rising, or, you know, this could be connected to someone that you know that has Leo in their chart. And of course, with Leo, this is extremely creative energy. So this could have been like a failed business attempt. And, you know, when I say failed, there's really no such thing as failure, because failures are just learning experiences. So if you are wondering whether you should pursue pursue this opportunity in a different way, or start again with your business or something creative or a relationship, let's just see what the advice is from the cards at going for a second run. Wow, we've got the Hierophant. Okay, and this card is connected to wisdom, knowledge, experience, doing things in a practical way with some kind of structure, or maybe even a routine or tradition behind it. So to me, this indicates that you can absolutely be successful this time around. And this represents that you know better. You're not going to make the same mistakes again. And if this is you worried about another person and whether they have changed, to me, this indicates that this person, they're going through a learning experience right now. So they are, they're not the same person that they were when things didn't work out between you, especially because I have this yin and yang symbol here. So let's just see what obstacles or challenges you may encounter with this, you know, resurgence. Well, the Ten of Cups. This is a beautiful card. To me, this indicates that there won't be any obstacles or challenges this time around. The only way that I could read this as an obstacle or challenge is you getting in the way of believing that this is possible for you. So this is really beautiful confirmation that whatever it is that you want to achieve in November, or whatever new step you were taking, it is possible for you to have a happy outcome. So let's just have a look at why you went through this experience. Let's have a look at what was the spiritual lesson. What did you need to learn? What was the underlying chapter or lesson, or soul lesson, really? Okay, I've had two come out. So this one says listen to your intuition. All right. And this one says ennoble your soul. And this actually says angels and devils. So this way round, it's an angel. This way round, it implies, maybe it's a devil. So to me, this shows me that you were not listening to your intuition. Something about the methodology or the way in which you tried to embark on this new chapter the first time wasn't quite right. Maybe this other person had indicated to you, if this is in connection or in relation to a relationship, maybe they had indicated to you that they weren't quite ready, or they needed more time, or they had certain doubts or misgivings. And it's like maybe you pushed on through. Now, if it's to do with business, maybe the time frame or the timeline that you gave yourself was very unrealistic, and you weren't able to meet that deadline. So it's like you set yourself up for disappointment by deep down knowing that the conditions were not conducive to your success. So I just get a little bit of a stubborn energy from you guys when I check back into what was happening for you at that time. It feels like you were quite just determined, which is not a bad thing. We all want to be successful. We all want to push on through with our agenda or with our goals and with our plans, but sometimes the timing's not ripe. So let's just see, has group number one fully integrated that lesson now? We've got the Hanged Man, which says yes, because this card is all about perspective. Okay, so this is about a perspective shift. Now, for some of you, you may have already understood this lesson and integrated it. For others of you, that's what November is really about. So this is where you're going to be reflecting on this situation. And I think, if anything, the key card here is don't let your pride get in the way. Because if you really want something, but you refuse to admit it, or you refuse to go out and get it, as in go for that opportunity, this is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. So don't be too proud to admit if you were wrong, to admit if you were too hard-headed or determined, or to admit that, hey, I actually want to give this relationship another shot, even if this person hurt me. I think they can change. I can forgive them. I can get past it. Or for some of you, it could just be worth that trade-off, giving things another go despite how things turned out. So let's have a look at some other situations that you may be encountering during November. So what else does group number one need to know about November? Let's maybe look at the eclipse first. We'll look at week 1, 2, 3, and 4, first 4 weeks of November, just because I'm a very structured person. So let's look at a challenge and a blessing that'll come through for each week. Okay, so week 1, what's the challenge? Okay, I'll show you in a moment. I'm just going to do all 4 weeks. Okay, what's the blessing? Okay, week 2, what's the challenge or the obstacle? Obstacle, the opportunity. Okay, that's too many cards, but I'm going to take that one. And what's the blessing? Wow, had a repeating card come out here. So for week 3, what's the obstacle or the challenge? What's the blessing? Okay, got 2 cards there. And now week 4, the challenge, the obstacle, and blessing. Interesting. So for week 1, this is the challenge. 10 of crystals, which, by the way, in this deck, it's the 10 of swords. Then the blessing, we've got judgment, all right, which represents a rebirth. So the first week, which we're into basically now, well, for some of you, I'm filming this on the 31st of October. For me, it's the 1st of November. Nevertheless, this is about a chapter coming to a close because it is a 10. So this is the end of a cycle. And obviously this looks extremely painful, but then we've got the sun rising in the background. So what this means is that this is an emotional purging of sorts. So this will be an emotional week for you. In fact, I'm even going to say the first 8 or 9 days will be characterized by this emotional energy for you, group 1. So we do have an eclipse on the 8th of November. It is a total lunar eclipse. Everyone is going to feel this. And, you know, for me, this is just confirmation of that. So looking at the cards, I can tell you now, the first week of November will be the most difficult in varying degrees. Obviously, you know, this is a general reading, but then we have a rebirth. Okay, this is a cleansing, a purification, a coming home to yourself. This is Pluto, which represents regeneration and rebirth. And we've got this angel figure here, and this is you guys understanding that everything happened for a reason. All this pain that you've been through, it was for a reason, and you are going to figure this out by the 8th or the 9th of November. So just a heads up, it's an emotional time for you. There will be tears. Don't resist them. To me, this doesn't indicate that something bad is happening. It indicates that you are healing from what you have experienced, okay? Because this card can represent pain, disappointment, betrayal, physical or emotional pain. So this is you giving into it in the sense of acknowledging what you've been through. So that is what the first week will be characterized by. Now, the second week, it's looking a lot more positive, and it just gets more and more positive as we go on. So from the second week of November, we've got the King of Crystals. So this is the obstacle / challenge card. And then in the blessings, we've got the 3 of Wands, which you'll remember from just a few minutes ago. So the obstacle or the challenge here is mentally accepting that you may want to give something another go or try it in a different way. Or this is like the mental processing of the situation. And this card is also asking you to let go of what happened that led you to this point. And we've got some synchronicity here. We can see 2 sunrises. Okay, so with the blessing that's coming through in November, we do have the 3 of Wands. So this represents that opportunity coming back around to you, whether this is a chance at smoothing things over in an important relationship, you know, romantic, or look, it could even be a friendship, I think, for some of you. And ultimately, this is a do-over. So you can get back onto even ground with this person, even if it's not like a romantic relationship that's fully taking off. This can just represent that you've gotten over that hurdle and that things are going to be running more smoothly from now on. And this is definitely a really good sign for those of you who are in business or who are following some kind of creative passion or hobby. Now, for the third week, this is amazing. In the challenge obstacle position, we have the Ace of Stars. Okay, so this is not a bad thing. Okay, there's never anything bad about an ace being upright. So, because it's a challenge, this is all about receiving it. Okay, it's in front of you, but there's that, side eye. Can I trust this? This doesn't feel right. Look what happened last time. It turned to crap. There's that second guessing that's coming in, which is also indicated by this card. So you can see that, this person, which is you in this instance, is being offered this opportunity, okay? But you are not considering it because you're only looking at the cups in front of you. So there's like this doubt over the timing of it. Surely this isn't the right time. Surely this person is not ready to try again. Surely this isn't that new chapter that I really wanted taking off. And yet we can see a single ripe fruit here. So it's like saying that, you know, yes, it's unusual because this is not a fruiting tree. Generally speaking, it's not like there's all these other opportunities. So there is this like early bloom of a situation which is ripe for the picking. And this other card came out in blessings, flower of life. Okay, we're talking about blooming. We're talking about, things being ready and ripe for the picking. And you can see that rainbow here. When we see rainbows, we sort of look at them in wonder and amazement. How can that be real? How did this come to be? So to me, the third week is when this tangible new start is really starting to take shape for you guys. Now, for the last week, for the fourth week of November, the very last week of November, the High Priestess came up in the challenge position. And then we had the moon in the blessing. So the challenge here is to listen to your intuition, to honor your inner knowing. Okay, this is what the High Priestess represents. And the High Priestess is always mute. She's never talking. She's very mysterious. So the challenge here is to understand a situation for what it is, despite the lack of communication. So you're really operating within the realm of feelings and emotions. But then the insight that comes through is the moon. So this is like the revelation, because the moon, this is like a full moon here. Okay, so it's like saying that I have understanding. These two choices are being illuminated for me. And even though no one's telling me, go this way, do this thing, or, don't go that way, it's acting on your own sense of intuition. Now, I'm just going to take one more card, just an overall oracle card. Oh my God. Confidence is your key to success. Notice this is the new moon in Leo, and the other card was the full moon in Leo, which right underneath the deck. Okay, so this is a sense of completion, a new start actually taking place, making headway, experiencing success. Now, I'm just going to check on a couple of other areas before I move on. I'm just going to take one card for career, one card for love, one card for finances, one card for family. Okay, so, and hopefully I remember everything I'm doing in the three other piles. So this is a card for career for November. Okay, career advice. And this is for finances. This is for love. And this is for family. Interesting. So, started off with career, and I'm actually going to roll my dice for this. I got the 8 of Cups here. Okay, so Libra, Pluto, and the second house. So this card represents that you're walking away from something. Okay, so you're turning your back on something here. So this can represent overcoming a difficult work situation. This can represent getting over something that has happened with a coworker or a client. To me, this ties into the initial message about career, which represents that you're leaving disappointment and perceived failures and false starts in the past. So I actually see this as being really positive in that you're moving on from this situation. With Pluto, Libra, and the second house, this is a very clear indicator that you are your values are shifting, especially when it comes to work, contracts, and relationships, and so on and so forth. Now, the second card is finances. Okay, so we've got the Six of Cups here, and it's reversed. So to me, this represents that you are reconsidering an idea that you had when it comes to like a excuse me, a business venture. Just a sec, guys. My tea is definitely brewed. One moment. Obviously, we had to be on point for Halloween. Okay, so with finances, this is like you guys realizing that, hey, I can monetize this. Hey, I can charge more for my services. Or this could be money that someone owes to you coming back to you, but because the card is reversed, I just want to say that if someone owes you money and you're waiting for them to pay you back, it will require you to ask them again for that money. For some people, they just need that extra prompt. They've forgotten. For other people, they might just think that, oh, she's not going to ask, or he or they are not going to ask, so I'm just going to see if they ask again. So if someone owes you money, you do have to ask for it again, unfortunately. Even if it's not like a friend or a family member, this could be the same thing with your pay at work. So if someone underpaid you, you will need to follow it up again, even if you have lodged a claim or a case. With the relationship energy, I've got the Five of Swords here, which represents bickering and arguments. So let's just see how you can mitigate that. Page of Wands. All right, move on. Page of Wands is about divine timing, passion, romance as well to an extent. So this is asking you to just remember why you're even in this relationship. And if you're not in a relationship, then this is encouragement for you to acknowledge that everything happens in divine timing. This may be your person and it may take a little more waiting, or this may not be the right person for you. And this is about acknowledging that, when your soul is ready, the relationship, the right person will arrive. Now, lastly, with family, we've got Justice card, the Justice card, which represents contracts, balance, harmony, and peace. This is the Libra card, as we can see with the Libra constellation and the scales. This is really, really positive for family. This, in terms of your family, this represents either socializing more, getting along with people, or maybe coming to an agreement or an understanding with someone who you have not been seeing eye to eye with. So pile one, that was your November 2022 tarot reading. If you enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already and you want to see more content from me, please hit the subscribe button. And if you guys are enjoying this video, leave me a comment if you want to see more tarot videos, because I've really been a bit on the fence about whether or not to bring tarot back to my channel. So thank you, group one. I'm just going to ring the bells again, and then I'm going to move on to group two, which is the lemon quartz. let's have a look at group number 2. My lovely lemon quartz group. Whoa, straight away. Okay, we've got the goddess of creation here. And this represents transformation, creativity, and wholeness. Okay, so let's have a look at your energy. I feel inclined to use a different deck for you guys. This is my my Crow tarot deck. So let's have a look. Goddess of creation. Wow. Okay. I miss this deck. I haven't used this deck in forever. So I've got the Hanged Man and I've got the Ace of Swords. They both came out reversed. So my doorbell's about to ring, I think. So hope you guys can't hear that. Anyway, this to me represents that there's something, it's like a new creative baby, I want to call it, with this Ace of Swords and the Goddess of Creation card. So to me, this indicates that you are extremely creative. You're having lots of ideas. It feels like my head's kind of buzzing. Like I feel like you have so many ideas that you don't know which one to pursue. You don't know which one you want to go for. I feel as though there might be 3 or 4 ideas on the go. I just rolled an 11. So to me, I mean, 11 ideas sounds like a lot, but this represents that seeing 111 or 1111 is how you're going to know that this is the right idea that you should pursue. Okay, so even the Ace of Swords looks like a big fat 1. So to me, you guys are feeling extremely inspired, creative. There is a sense of restlessness that I get from you guys. I feel like something has been holding you back, but that it's not your fault. And what I mean by that is it's not like you're not writing or not doing the creative part. It's like there's something external that's in the way or getting in the way of you being able to pursue this new creative idea that you have. So with the Hanged Man being reversed, the Hanged Man is always a card which represents surrender, so surrendering, and it's like you guys are not surrendering to the fact that creativity has a timeline and a process, and sometimes things just do not move on your timeline. So in terms of what's getting in the way, I feel as though for some of you, this could be to do with materials, or you could be collaborating with another person who's wrapping up some other projects right now. And so they're just not ready to jump in, as much as you are. So it's like they've got other things on the go. And even as I'm looking at my cat mug, which I love, you can see that one cat is, colorful and red and the other cat is black. So if you are collaborating with another person, I feel like you guys are very opposite in nature. You could even be working in different time zones. One of you could be a night person, one of you could be an evening person. It feels like when your life is, when it's calmed down and you have all this free time, this is when they get really busy, and vice versa. The same can be said for if you are in business with your significant other or with a family member. It just really feels like I'm getting a lot of frustration from you guys. Like you want to start, you're raring to go. And I suppose the message here is you don't want to let your frustration or your restlessness start to impact the way that you operate from a creative sense. So let's just take a card on the matter. So this says, full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. Okay, so because this is referencing Aquarius, somehow I feel as though January and February is when things are going to get going, because it says show the world the real you. This is like when you have something to show, whether this is a completed project, a finished product, the first draft of an idea or the first scene. If you're maybe filming a movie, just as an example. And in terms of how this ties in to astrology, Mars is retrograde as of yesterday, and it will be retrograde until the 12th of January. So this is when the biggest challenge comes through. This is when we experience hurdles or hiccups or obstacles. So it does make a lot of sense to me that this is when you can start to expect things to move without as much resistance. Okay, so also, hi everyone in the live chat. I'm just sort of keeping it off to the side, so I'm staying in the zone, but had a quick little peek. Now, let's have a look at the 4 weeks of the month. Okay, so what is the obstacle or the challenge of the first week of November? I'm just going to take all of them and then I'll show you what's the blessing. Okay, week 2, what's the obstacle or the challenge? What's the blessing? Week 3. Got one of the same cards again. Okay, week 4. And the blessing. Way too many cards. Let's go again. What's the blessing? Okay. I'm just going to take an oracle card to look at the spiritual lesson that you're learning, or the reason for these delays and this frustration. Okay, group 2. What's the soul lesson? Okay. So, feel inclined to show you that card first. I've got create boundaries. Okay, so with these boundaries, I feel as though, Neptune, Libra, and the 10th house. I feel like you guys are inclined to work around the clock, that there's no routine, there's no structure. That sounds pretty harsh, but it's like when you guys get inspired, you'll just work and work and work and work and work, and there's no rest, there's improper sleep, no meditation. Not that everyone has to meditate, but it's like you don't allow yourself time to rest or to recuperate. Maybe you skip meals. Maybe when you're in this phase, this is when you turn to eating lots of unhealthy food, whatever that means for you. Okay, for some people, that means a lot of McDonald's. For other people, that means eating things with lactose when they're lactose intolerant. For other people, this could be something else. Okay, so whatever unhealthy food or unhealthy diet means for you personally, I feel as though this is kind of what starts to take off when you get inspired or excited, because you're like, oh my God, I have this idea. I want to paint this painting or create this music, or, I want to write this book or whatever, develop an app. Maybe you like to create things with your hands, whatever it is. You guys are obviously my creative people. Let's make no bones about that, especially because I've got lemon quartz here, which is connected to the solar plexus. And then I've got goddess of creation. Okay, you guys are my creatives. So, I'm not even going to worry about this being a general reading. I know you guys are creative in some way, shape, or form. So what happens is you're like, yes, I have this idea. I have the inspiration. I have the motivation. And then you just go full tilt, from 0 to 100 on this idea. And then these other things, these earthly matters, start to fall by the wayside, whether this is cleaning up around the place, your diet, exercise, or maybe you, start going to bed at 3 or 4 a.m. or just getting very little sleep because you're so like into what you're doing. And this is just so unhealthy. I'm not going to lie, I feel like this is my group. So, don't think that I'm coming down on you guys because I'm like delivering these messages being like, whoops. This is when spirit comes in, or God, or whatever you want to call it, and they make you grind to a halt. Okay, so for some of you, this is because you're collaborating with another person and they're not ready. For others of you, the materials haven't come in, your laptop's broken down, or someone accidentally destroyed the first draft of something that you've got. This, I know it's really hard to hear, but this is actually a reset moment where you are being encouraged to take it more slowly. But I'm not saying take it slow, I'm saying take it more slowly, because the ways in which you have been approaching your creative gifts and your passions and your hobbies is, quite frankly, totally unsustainable. Okay, so this is just the first little preview of, hey, if you keep going like this, I'm going to keep putting blockages in your way. Okay, so when it comes to the first week of November, the obstacle or the challenge is the Hierophant reversed. So the Hierophant is about structure and order and routine. Okay, so this is about you getting into some semblance of routine. It doesn't mean you wake up at the same time every day, that you eat the same food every day. And, this is not about having an unexciting life. I know a lot of creative people are very spontaneous. They just want to fly by the seat of their pants and do things when they feel called to. But sleep, rest, food, exercise, these are absolutely non-negotiables. Now, obviously, people are only going to be able to exercise in varying degrees. I don't want to be ableist over here. If you physically cannot exercise, that's okay. This is a general reading. I'm talking about the majority, okay, the building blocks for the majority here. So sleep and rest and food, these are paramount, these are non-negotiable. Now, in the blessings position, I have the sun, which is reversed. So maybe you're not going to like this, but this is a blessing in disguise. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say the first week of November is not the week for creation. It's just not, with the sun reversed. The sun represents creativity. I've got sunflowers here as well. Even lemon quartz, this represents the sun energy, which is the third chakra, which is solar plexus. So this is about restoring your energy reserves, having boundaries, whether this is with other people, yourself, how much TV you watch, how much, you're on TikTok or Instagram or social media or whatever. And, for others of you, this is about you just taking this time to simply rest and get inspired without the physical labor, this physical creative side of things. So that's the first week of November. Now, the second week of November, in the obstacle or the challenge position, I've got the Hermit card. Okay, so similar to the first week, you're still in a bit of hermit mode. I'm inclined to say that this is for the first, so this is week 2 of November, but for half the week, you're still coming off the back of this, rest and recuperate energy. That doesn't mean you need to stay indoors the whole time. This is just like, hey, don't beat yourself up if you're not out there creating or working on your projects. Maybe that's another way I can phrase it. Okay, you guys are my project people. Okay, so in terms of the blessing, we have the Ace of Cups here. the Four of Cups. I beg your pardon. This card came out in group 1 as well. So for you guys, this indicates that there will be new inspiration coming through to you, a new idea, a new opportunity. Maybe this represents that for those of you who want to collaborate, that this person is now ready. I'm inclined to think that this is something new, though. Yeah, it's something new. With the 9th house, Gemini, and Neptune, this is a new inspiration, a new idea, or a new long-term plan or goal. You don't necessarily need to act on it. So the first week, we're resting, we're getting back into a routine, or like formulating one just in general. The second week, we're still kind of in hermity mode, but towards the end of the second week, we're going to feel like, there are new opportunities. Maybe you meet someone new. Maybe you get an email or someone slides into your DMs with a proposition. Now for week 3, we've got the 7 of Cups when it comes to the obstacle or the challenge. This is like all at once, you've got all these projects coming back to life, all of these collaborations, all of these ideas, maybe deadlines that are all sort of converging around the same time. So it feels like in the third week that there's lots of things due, lots of people that you need to get back to, lots of things to organize, certainly lots of opportunities to be distracted. I do feel like there'll be a number of social propositions that come your way, and maybe you're feeling sort of spread thin or pulled in many different directions at once. Then in the opportunity card, the blessings, I should say, we've got the Hanged Man again. All right, so this is coming full circle. That one big project or collaboration or idea that you have, this is when you see things with a fresh pair of eyes, or this is when it comes unstuck, or this may just be when you're like, what the hell, if it happens, it happens, I don't even care anymore. And then somehow that leads to, in the 4th week, things going your way. Okay, in the blessing position, I've got death. Now, you can see that even though this crow has died, it's being reborn. So to me, this indicates a revival of these projects or of these opportunities. In the challenge position or the obstacle position, I've got the Queen of Swords. So it feels like there's this amazing opportunity for you to have a do-over, or for you to get on the same page as someone else, or maybe your materials arrive, maybe you have a huge milestone that you achieve or a big breakthrough that you achieve, and yet the Queen of Swords card represents that there is some rigidity from your end where you're like, well, be that as it may, it's not perfect. Be that as it may, this isn't what I ordered, or this isn't exactly how I thought this would go or should go. So it feels like there's an opportunity for you to like get the show on the road, but then, the challenge is for you to be grateful that things are no longer at a standstill. So I'm just going to pull another card, and then I'm going to take a card for career, finance, love, and family. This says a time to give rather than take. Okay, and the card was reversed here. So, and it says new moon in Virgo. So maybe some of you are Virgo sun, moon, or risings, or you have Virgo tendencies of kind of being a little bit controlling. I'm a Virgo moon, so like, don't worry, no shade. Nevertheless, with this card here, time to give rather than take reversed. Yeah, Sun, Aquarius in the 12th house. This is indicating that people want you to give and give and give, but the challenge is for you to not overextend yourself. Okay, so a time to give rather than take is not the time. I'm going to interpret this the exact opposite way. It's not the time, but you may be feeling pressured into thinking it is the time for you to give more of yourself than you can. So now let's have a look at career. Take a card for career, finance, love, and family. Okay, so what does group 2 need to know about career? Oh my God, I'm going to just show you the sun. Amazing, amazing steps in career creation, inspiration, work, achieving a milestone in a project, coming a long way. This feels like end of the month energy, so just persist with your creative ideas and your creative babies. Okay, what about finances? Also, I just want to say, not all of you are going to be working. So with career, you can take this as success in something that is connected to your work and to your craft. If you're looking for a job and you're currently unemployed, I actually think you'll get an offer on the table by the end of the month. So finances, what does group 2 need to know? Okay, and then love and family. Might need some clarifiers, guys. Definitely going to need some clarifiers. So for finances, I've got the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so this doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. To me, this indicates that you may not initially make the kind of money that you wanted to make with a business venture, or let's say maybe a commission. I'm going to widen my interpretation on this. You may have to overspend a little bit. If some of you are buying a property, you may have had a figure in mind, and this sees you going that little bit further. If you're waiting for a loan, because this card is reversed and this is connected to things being in balance, and this is a money card, by the way, with the pentacles here. I think this is going to be pushed into December. If you're waiting for a loan, it just feels like there's a little bit of a delay here with finances, a little bit of a lag, a little bit of disappointment. Sounds really negative. Doesn't need to be. It's just like your expectations aren't fully met, but maybe your expectations are unreasonable. I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying they might be. Taking another card for this. Wow. Detox your friendships. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you're spending time. So be discerning about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. I'm going to read this headline one more time. Detox your friendships. Okay. If some of you, not all of you, of course, but if some of you are feeling as though you keep putting in all this work and you're just not getting the figure that you want, or you're not earning what you want, or you feel as though somehow your abundance flow, even if this is like material wealth and prosperity, if you feel like this is being affected somehow, I would really encourage you to look at who you're spending time with friendships. This could, it doesn't have to be friendships. This could be relationships as well. Now, detox your friendships is obviously very strong language here. Not all of you need to go out and, cut off friends, but I'm just going to take a more gentle perspective with this. Don't tell all your friends your financial problems, situations, or even goals. Okay, so if in November there comes a time where someone's asking you, hey, what do you earn, or what do you make, or how much do you want to spend on a house, how much do you want to get for your business loan, I would be very hesitant in sharing dollar figures, or actual specific amounts of money in November specifically. Okay, so if you're wondering, this is for a select few of you now. If you have a friend or a couple of friends in mind and you're wondering, is it this person? I'm just going to pull a card and see what their sun, moon, or rising might be. And if their sign comes up, this could be confirmation for you. So, if there's someone in your mind that you're a little bit unsure of, think of them now. Okay, and I'm going to ask group 2, what is the sign of the friend who they may need to detox or reassess this relationship? Venus. This could be a Libra or a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. Just see if there's anything else. One more card with the same question. Aries. Okay, Taurus, Aries, or Libra. Taurus, Aries, or Libra, sun, moon, or rising. That doesn't mean this person, for all of you watching this, it doesn't mean that you've all got an Aries, Taurus, or a Libra who doesn't have your best interests at heart. It just means that this person is having a very, very powerful and negative impact on your abundance and your financial situation. So just be very mindful about who you're sharing your important business with. Now, when it comes to relationships, I've got the Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, so to me, it's not a bad thing, especially because you started with the Ace of Swords reversed. This is actually an opportunity for you to overcome an argument or to overcome a disagreement. Because I have an ace here, an ace is still positive any which way we look at it. There is a little bit of arrogance that comes through with this card, either from you or with them. So if you are bickering or disagreeing about something, I would challenge you to try to objectively ascertain whether you're fully in the right or whether that other person may just have a point. I'm going to take one more card for love. Okay, Page of Pentacles reversed. Some of you may be hearing back from an ex or someone that you used to be involved with romantically. Now, lastly, for family, I have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So this represents working through problems, working through issues with family. I'm going to take a clarifying card for family. Wow, Page of Swords reversed. Okay, I hate to say it, guys, but I actually feel like it's your energy that's coming through as being very fixed in your beliefs, fixed in what you are saying. It feels like you could have more compassion for either someone in your family or a romantic interest or maybe a romantic lover. With the Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords reversed, I mean, it's undoubtable here that you guys, it's your energy that's very stuck in its ways for November. Again, no shade. Ultimately, overall, we've got the Sun card here, and I am just ecstatic to see this. So, you guys are going to be feeling very creative. You'll have a lot of success with creativity. It's just that relationships is where you'll be putting in the hard yards for November. And so, group 2, I hope that you enjoyed your November reading. I'm just going to close off the reading by ringing the bells, and then I'm going to move to group 3, which is Black Obsidian. So thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed already or liked the video, please do so if you liked it, if you want to subscribe. It's hard to believe that I'm already an hour in and I am not even halfway. Okay, so let's have a look at group 3. For those of you who chose Black Obsidian, I'm just going to take an oracle card first of all. And I just want to say, I can't tell you how amazing this candle smells. It's pumpkin spice, like I mentioned at the beginning, and this is my favorite candle that I've ever bought, and I just love the design. I really, really would love another one. Anyway, because I'm just really aware of my senses right now, I feel like you guys are very tactile people, very sensual people. Maybe you're a Taurus like me, Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or maybe food and smell, scent, touch, taste, fashion, how you dress, hair, makeup, presentation. I feel like this is really important for you guys. And some of you may be Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising as well. You don't have to be Taurus or Leo, but I'm just picking up on the energy. And also, I get like a very glamorous vibe from you guys. So I feel like you guys are attractive people, or you might get lots of compliments on your appearance. Oh my God, the same card came out as group number 1. Okay, so some of you who watched group number 1 may be watching group number 3 as well, which is totally fine. I'm just going to read this out to you. It says remembrance, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. Excuse me. So this indicates that you guys are sort of stewing on a situation. The energy just feels very very tired. Like all of a sudden, as I started doing a reading, I felt really overcome with tiredness. So I feel like you guys are tired and not sleeping very well. I do feel like you're not your usual fun, glamorous, upbeat, bubbly selves. And I do feel like you guys are very upbeat and bubbly people. Like, even though I feel tired, I still feel energized. So I feel like you guys are usually very active people. Maybe you like playing sport, or maybe you're just active in terms of like when you wake up, you like to get out of bed, you like to get cracking, you like to start the day, you like to feel productive. You feel like very productive people. Maybe you have fire in your chart. Even if you're not Leo, you could have some Aries or Sag. Somehow I just feel like you're usually up here, and right now you're like, what the hell? This like isn't me. So let's just see what else. Oh, and these cards are just coming out. This says you're very close to achieving your goal. And the card was reversed. Okay, so this, because it's reversed, but it still says you're close to achieving your goal, this tells me two things. One, the completion is in sight. Achieving your goal is possible. It's probable. It's highly likely. Even though this is a general reading, this feels like a guarantee. So you're very close, but with it being reversed, you are not going to hit your deadline. Okay, or you feel that you're not going to hit your deadline. Sort of a similar message came out in, I think it was either group 1 or group 2. But yeah, I just have this feeling as though your deadline is like extremely ambitious, and I really hope that this is not a message for me, because I've given myself a deadline for my 2023 horoscopes, and anyway, whatever. So you are close. The end is in sight. This is the last leg. This is the final chapter. So for some of you, this could be that you feel like it's not good enough, even though it is good enough. So I just get this sense of disappointment, which is, I feel sad. Like I feel sad that you're feeling that way. Group number 3. I'm just going to pull some cards and just get some more information on this situation. And also, I'm like super duper dehydrated. Take a drink of water, guys. I feel like you guys might be dehydrated too. So what does group 3 need to know? Oh, got the Empress card. That's beautiful. So this indicates that you're going to start feeling like yourself again very, very soon, by the end of the month, in fact. So I feel like, because you guys are very sensual and active, and, you like the finer things in life. Okay, the Empress is very glamorous. She's a very abundant and luxurious figure. So to me, this shows that you guys, you haven't been able to indulge as much as you usually like to. This could be a level of pampering that you enjoy. So this could be getting your hair done, getting your nails done. Maybe you like to go out for lunch with your friends, or a nice dinner, every week or once or twice a month. It just feels like your life has been lacking that glitz and glamour and luxury that you are accustomed to, or that you enjoy. If I really strip this message right back, I feel as though you guys are not feeling your best because you're not looking your best, but you're not looking your best because you're not feeling your best. Okay, so it's like a catch-22. So I actually feel as though you will have some kind of glow up by the end of the month. So for some of you, this could be, and I'm going to talk like a real Taurus now, guys. This could be finding that perfect outfit, finding a new hairdresser, just doing these little pick-me-up things, even getting a massage, doing these things that make you feel more you. And, for people who have Taurus energy, even if you're not a Taurus, this is like, okay, I want to feel like I'm in my body. I want to enjoy the food that I am eating. I want to look nice in the clothes that I'm wearing. I want to be, really present and in the moment. So I feel as though this is the blessing that is coming for you for November. So by the end of November, you'll be feeling like this goddess, or, it doesn't have to be a goddess, but this, someone who deserves the best, and they look like they are in their power and owning it. Okay, so let's just take another couple cards, and then I'm going to look at 4 weeks for November, the 4 weeks of November. Okay, roll my dice. All right, so I got Moon, Aquarius, and the 6th house, and I've also got 8 of Cups, 9 of Wands, and the Emperor card was on top of the deck, and it just kind of like slipped off the top, so I decided to pick it up. With the 8 of Cups and the 9 of Wands, I feel like you guys are faced with a very difficult choice to make about whether to walk away from a situation or whether to persevere. And for some of you, you may feel like this is an ultimatum, or that you want to give someone an ultimatum. These two energies are extremely opposite. This is like literally walking away, or, we could say giving up or turning our back on a situation. The 9 of Wands is stubbornly persisting till we get to that next step. So this month actually feels very make it or break it somehow. With the Moon, Aquarius, in the 6th house, for some of you, this is connected to relationships in the workplace. For others of you, this is connected to family disputes, okay? Because the Moon is relationships, and it can represent family. The 6th house is, in astrology, represents discord, disagreements, and disputes. And then with Aquarius, this is like, information. What are we doing with this? What are our beliefs? So for some of you, because Aquarius represents friendship, this can indicate that you are choosing, I wasn't even going to say this, but it just started falling out of my mouth, friends over family. So that could be a very specific message for some of you. For others of you, this is like, I don't want to fight with my family anymore. I don't want to fight with these co-workers anymore. So maybe it's going to be water under the bridge. Okay, walking away from this argument, walking away from this dispute. For others of you, this could actually involve walking away from a job. And, it is a choice what you want to do. I'm not telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling you what the choice is. So with the 9 of Wands here, it's up to you. This situation that you're in with another person, whether it's a conflict or a dispute, just so you know, they're not backing down. That doesn't mean you can't be friends at the end of it. It doesn't mean that, your relationship is effed, so to speak. It just means that if you're arguing with someone about something, you are the one who needs to be the bigger person. Okay, so you either stay in there and battle it out. It's a battle of wills, or you take the high road and walk away. So that's another subset energy that I'm picking up for November. So now I'm just going to look at your first, the 4 weeks of November. I'm going to look at a challenge or an obstacle versus a blessing. And I'm going to do that for each of the 4 weeks. So I'm going to pull 8 cards. So just bear with me. Okay, week 1. Blessing. Wow. Oh my God. I've just got 3 nights in a row. Look, I'm not good at maths, so I don't know what the chances of that are, but it's low. Okay, let's look at a blessing that's coming through. So that's for week 2. Okay. I'm going to look at week 3. That sound was my cat, by the way. If he meows again, I'm going to have to let him in. Otherwise, he's going to keep doing that. Let's look at blessing. Wow. And last week, week 4. Oh, I got the sun for you guys as well. Wow. Okay. What a lovely card to end it on. So, week 1, obstacle, blessing. Okay. But when I had these cards down here, when they were lying down, when they were on the table, they were like this. Interesting. But I picked them up, showing you this card and that card, and they're facing away. Okay, so this is that dispute, this is that conflict, that argument, that disagreement, that discord, that tension that I was referring to. Okay, so now I'm sure of it. All right, before I was like, oh, maybe this is just for some of you watching group 3. Now I'm sure of it. There is something that you're not happy with right now. And this is not a surprise to you. If you're watching this and you're like, hey, that's like, no, that's not happening. Maybe this is not your pile, especially if you were very hesitant about which group to choose. Group 3, there is something going on with another individual, a coworker, a friend, or a family member, like a relative. And this represents that energy. So the obstacle here, we've got Scorpio. This is a Scorpio constellation. You could be a Scorpio. They could be a Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. They don't have to be. What this represents is, in the obstacle position, someone's holding a grudge, but there is a lot of love here. Okay, so somehow I feel as though this is someone that you're friendly with rather than someone who's like an enemy, so to speak. So this represents that, you love this person. With the Knight of Cups here, this is your cup of love. You actually deeply care for this person. But then this challenge is the Scorpio energy, which is holding a grudge, being vindictive, being spiteful. Even if you're not necessarily trying to get revenge, which is, a lower manifestation or, shadow side of Scorpio, this is like you withholding your love, you withholding your cup of love. Okay, so then in the blessing position, we've got the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, quite frankly, just gets over shit. They want to move on. We've got this symbology, this symbolism here of this big, long red candle. This is like you're lighting a candle, you're asking to let go of that energy, you want to move on. Okay, so there's absolutely this opportunity here for you guys to move on. I'm actually going to pull another card for this because it feels really important. Okay, you and your loved ones are safe. All right, the relationship is safe. Whatever argument you've had, whatever discord you're experiencing, you guys actually can get past this. You can get over this. And right now, my heart feels really, really heavy. Like I want to cry. So I feel like this is a best friend. Maybe this is like a sister, or, a family member, someone who you really love. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe, this has gotten to this place. Like, what the hell? Even if it's like your work bestie, or your favorite client, it just feels like someone who you love and adore. There's this tension here. And there's almost like this like disbelief, like we never fight, or like I never thought we would fight about this. So this is asking you to really approach this person with your cup of love for them, for your relationship, and to let go of grudges, to let go of this resentment in your heart. I heard this saying once, which I really love, which goes, holding a grudge is like drinking poison and hoping the other person will die. Pretty macabre, pretty dramatic, but any resentment that you are keeping inside and you're holding this for another person, this hurts you. Okay, it hurts you more than it hurts them, even if it hurts them. Okay, trust me on that. So you can absolutely overcome this situation. And to be fair, things may reach a peak around the 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe even the 9th of November. And that is because this is when we're actually going to have a full moon eclipse in the sign of Taurus, which is actually opposite Scorpio. So Taurians and Scorpios can be extremely affected by this. Now, week 2, sorry, not group 2, I've got the Knight of Crystals. Okay, so this is coming up in the challenge position, in the obstacle position. So again, it's just absolutely like amazing to me that I've had 3 nights in a row, like one after the other. Again, I don't know what the math is on that. I think there's 78 cards in this deck, so feel free to do that for me if you care to. So we're moving on, and it's interesting. I've just picked these cards up just coincidentally. Instead of the opposite way, I've picked them up this way, and so now we can see this one's riding on, this one's moving forward. So week 2 is about moving on from this conflict, moving on from this discord. I feel as though even if you achieve, balance in the relationship, you forgive one another, there's like this lingering energy. I feel as though you're going to have this really clarifying conversation where you get a lot of closure, but then there's still like this, are we really okay? But you guys are, okay? With the 2 of Wands here, to me, this represents that you guys can move on. The 2 of Wands is like a decision to make. Which direction are we going to go in? But these 2 wands are together, and we've got the globe here and sun rising ahead. So week 1 and 2, we're still in the fields a little bit with the North Node Leo in the 9th house. This represents an active choice by both people in the relationship to be like, hey, we're actually going to move on from this because, life's too short. We love each other. It's not that, it's not that big of a deal that we can't move on. Okay, so for week 3, this is surely going to be cold by now. Lukewarm, by the way. So for week 3 in November, this is the obstacle card. This is the challenge card. We've got the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of stars is Pentacles in this deck. And then in the blessing, we've got the Justice card here. So please tell me this is not the same situation that we're still looking at. Somehow I feel like this is something new. Let's see. The Strength card. Okay, so and we've got Infinity here. So to me, this is more about something that's going on a personal level for you, because it's just you and your lion. Maybe some of you, I said Leos. Yeah, some of you are Leos. So to me, this is like a situation which is requiring your confidence. Somehow I feel as though this is to do with you coming out of your shell a bit more, because we've got the 4 of Pentacles card here. And then, with the Justice card, it's like you don't want to rock the boat, or somehow I feel like you're really trying to maybe mediate for other people, actually. And this is taking a lot of confidence for you, or a lot of your strength. You may feel like you're the meat in the middle. And I'm just going to take an oracle card on this. Wow. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. Would you look at that? This is my Libra card. Got 2 scales, and this is Libra. It's all Libra. So, okay, this is still about relationships for some of you. And it says have faith in your dreams. So for some of you, this is like, with other relationships, this month is very much about relationships. I feel like there are still some insecurities in the previous connection that we were talking about, but I also feel as though there may be a little bit of discord within a friendship group, or with people who are in a relationship around you. Maybe your parents are arguing, maybe your siblings are arguing with their spouse, just as an example. Somehow I feel like people are coming to you for advice in relationships, and this helps you to gain clarity over your own personal situation. The challenge in all of this, though, is that you maybe don't want to get involved because you don't want to look at your own how this situation mirrors you. I hope that makes sense. That was a little bit of a roundabout way of arriving at that conclusion. Now, for the last week of the month, we've got the Ace of Crystals, which is the Ace of Swords, in the challenge position, which is the obstacle, and then we've got the Sun in the blessing position. Okay, so to me, this represents that this is when you're going to be feeling your best. The challenge position here to me represents not being distracted. Okay, I feel like people are vying for your attention. There's lots of distractions coming up. Again, this could be to do with social media, TikTok, checking your emails too often, responding to texts and calls immediately as they come in. So yeah, it just feels like there's this, it's like someone like waving their arms up and down, like jumping up and down, trying to get your attention. And you're like, no, I need to focus on my goals, on my career, on my success, on what I want to create. So yeah, it feels like a very relationship-y kind of month for you. It's all about other people, your relationships with other people. So now lastly for this reading, for pile number 3, I'm just going to pull some cards on career, finances, love, and family. So what does for November? Whoa, straight away. That's career, finances. Same card as number 1, group number 1, I think. Okay, group 3. That's relationships. Yay. Like to see that. And then family. Ooh, 2 cards for family. Lovely. So career, we've got the Queen of Cups here. Okay, so the Queen of Cups is very intuitive, very compassionate, very nurturing. This represents people who are healers, doctors, astrologers, people who are involved in working with families. I'm inclined to say real estate as well. This says take a divinely guided chance. So there is a new work opportunity coming through, whether this is a collaboration proposition, a contract, or simply a new project at work, a new responsibility. For some of you on a bigger level, like on a grander scale, this is like you contemplating a career shift to move into one of those fields. And that could also be like psychology, hypnotherapy, counselors, like anyone who's working with other people, social workers, etc. So I feel like you will feel intuitively called to try something new, or there'll be something that you're very passionate about, which is connected to work. Finances, I've got the 6 of Cups here. Okay, so this is a really, really positive card to get, which is connected to soulmate energy, things coming back from the past. I've just rolled the dice and I've got the 6th house and Aquarius again and Uranus. So I actually feel like an institution that may have owed you money could be paying you a rebate. You could get a tax return back, and this allows you to invest in something that you really love or that you really want, or maybe this allows you to spoil your family. I get this feeling of money coming back to you that's owed to you, or money that you've been waiting on for a long time, or maybe some kind of penalty or fine is waived, or someone helps you financially. Someone comes in and, literally gifts you money. Maybe this is for a house, or, they just spoil you. Okay, so for relationships, love, I got the Chariot. Things are moving. Okay, things are finally moving. If you're in a relationship and you feel like, the energy has died down, the spark's not there, the romance isn't there. Or if you're not in a relationship and you're like, hey, when am I going to meet someone? You'll meet someone this month. If you're dating someone and you want things to move more quickly, they'll move more quickly this month. This is about movement. To be fair, this could be moving on from someone. You could finally decide that you want to break off a connection because you feel that it's not going anywhere. In it, some way, shape, or form, your romantic situation will change from what it was at the beginning of the month. And P.S., these cards coming up, I feel as though this is more like where things are going to be by the end of November. Now, when it comes to family, first of all, the Three of Stars came up, which is the Three of Pentacles, and then we had the King of Wands come up. So if you guys have children, I feel like this is a blessing that's coming through for your children. Maybe they're going to get a new job, start earning their own money. With the King of Wands and the Three of Stars coming out together, I feel as though this is a month where you guys want to do things differently and shake things up, but there's like an agreement between all parties. So maybe you're planning a trip, maybe you're planning an event together, maybe you guys are like, hey, we want to join a gym together, or it just feels like you guys are planning something fun with your family. So group 3, if you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content on this channel, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to know if this reading resonated for you, so please feel free to comment on the video, and of course, wishing you many blessings for the month ahead. I am just going to ring the bells just to clear off this energy and move on to group 4. So that was group 3 for Black Obsidian, and now we're going to look at Amethyst on Amethyst, group 4. So just bear with me. Okay, so this is group 4. I'm actually going to use the same deck as before. Let's have a look at your oracle message, group 4, November. What's going on? Okay, so we've got loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection. Okay, so I feel as though all my oracle cards for November have been relatively heavy. Okay, so let's have a look now. Group 4. What's group 4's energy? What are they going through right now as they're watching this? Okay. Just 1 moment. It's group 4's energy. Oh my God. New moon in Taurus and full moon in Taurus. What are the chances? Very slim. I don't know what they are, but the chances of that happening are very slim. Obviously, you saw me shuffle. So new moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. Full moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. Okay, so somewhere here, you guys are, your energy feels kind of like stuck between like the dream, the vision. I can see it all. I know what I want. This is the fantasy, or this is the legacy that I want to leave behind. This is the project that I want to create. This is the career that I want to build. This is the relationship that I want to have. I want to have X amount of children, or this is the house. Like, if any of those statements resonated for you, this is you. This is your group. I really feel like there's this beautiful dream that you have and that you've had for a while, and it feels like you guys are very good visualizers. I feel like you're usually good at manifesting things, and there's really no issues there for you with that. And yet somehow this time around, it's kind of like you just have this, with the Knight of Cups here. This is a card which represents devotion, passion, romance, desire, love. You just have this beautiful desire and burning passion to achieve one of these goals, or, to have one of these things in your life. And you're like, why is it not here? Okay, so with this card saying loss, I feel as though this is not something that you had and that you lost. I feel as though you feel as though the dream is lost, or the ability for you to manifest this thing into your life and have this thing that you really want in your life is lost. And now, like, as I'm saying this, I just feel this tremendous sense of grief. Like, literally, this saying grief and sadness and then resurrection. It's like, I feel like you guys have just been in this like incredible state of mourning. Um, it almost feels like a death. I'm not saying that, that's what you guys are experiencing in November. It doesn't feel like a death of a person. It just feels like you've kind of given up um, on a vision, but you just see like flickers of this thing that you want for yourself. So, with this card, which says New Moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead, and Full Moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. What this tells me is your dream will be resurrected. Maybe you need to refashion it, reimagine it, restate it, plant it in new soil, plant with different seeds. But, with this saying your dreams need a practical plan, it's like these two cards together, a new moon and a full moon, is intention, planting the seed, and then culmination, reaping the rewards, you know, something coming full circle. So I do really feel like whatever it is that you want to achieve, you can achieve it. And it's quite amazing that we actually have a full moon in Taurus on the 8th of November. So this is a total lunar eclipse that we're having on the 8th of November in Taurus. So when I shuffled, I also pulled out the Emperor and the Nine of Pentacles. So the Emperor is about structure, solid foundations, confidence, being really firm with what we want and what we desire. And this is an Aries card, by the way. So maybe some of you are Aries sun, moon, or risings. You could be Taurus sun, moon, or risings, or even Scorpio. You don't have to be, but your energy feels like watery and earthy to me. Again, doesn't have to be, but nevertheless, with the Nine of Stars here, this represents abundance, getting what you want, material manifestation, resources, being resourceful, having the tools that you need to achieve what you want. So this is where the practical side of things comes in. Somehow I feel like either money or resources or what you need is going to come in at the last moment. So this indicates like holding true to your vision and not giving up. With the Parrot card here, this is like, receiving a message from another person or just receiving confirmation, like the kind of confirmation that you need, that whatever it is that you want, you can achieve it. And when I rolled the dice, I got the North Node and the sixth house and Virgo. So for some of you, this could be a loan. For others of you, this could be a job. This could be a new work project. This could be new employees or help with your work. This could be trying something new with respect to your work. This could be like you being able to pay the bills at the last moment. That doesn't mean that this has nothing to do with the romantic side of things. That energy is still very much there. This is just a sidebar, if you will. So now I'm going to pull cards for the first 4 weeks of November, and I'm going to look at an obstacle or a challenge plus a blessing. So I'm just going to pull the cards and then I'm going to come back to you on that. Actually, let me do this first. Okay, what is the spiritual lesson? What did group 4 need to learn? Okay, wow. Step into the unknown. Okay, somehow there's been a sense of control that comes with the familiarity of knowing exactly where you are, even if it's stagnant, and even if you stagnated, I should say, and even if you're wanting this change to come through. I do get a bit of fear and a bit of resistance. So it's like you really, really, really want this thing, but then you're like, oh, well, how am I going to deal with it when I get it? that seems like a lot of work. That new job seems like a lot of work. That new relationship, like, what if it bums out? What if it ends? If I get this house, like, maybe there's a lot of cleaning I need to do. How am I going to service that loan? I want to start a family, but oh my God, like, I don't know if I'll be a good parent. It just feels like there's this narrative that's running parallel or counter to, not parallel, it's like opposing the desire. And when it comes to getting what we want, Taurus speak, I'm a Taurus, it's like, if you really, really, really want something, but then you've, got this desire that is shrouded in doubt and, the fears of potential failure, then unfortunately these negative fears tend to overpower these positive thoughts. So this is really about you guys overcoming your fears and not allowing the negative thought patterns to outweigh what it is that you truly want and desire. So let's have a look at these first 4 weeks of November. What's the obstacle? What's the blessing that's coming to you? Okay. I'm going to take the cards first and then I'll show you the blessing. They're just flying out. Wow. Okay. I'm really happy about the last card, but I'm going to create suspense and leave it till the end. So with the first week of November, okay. So we've got the Chariot reversed. All right, this is the obstacle position. So this is things not going in the direction that you want. Things aren't moving the way that you want. Things may have come to a grinding halt. The blessing is the Death card, also reversed. So things not moving is a blessing in disguise. Simple. Very simple to me. So, if you're trying to push a square peg through a circle hole, I'm going to say the first 8 or 9 days of November, just because we've got a total lunar eclipse on the 8th of November. It's a blessing for you guys. You're not meant to have this then. Maybe something better will come along. Maybe someone more aligned to you will come along. Maybe a better job will come along. It's like something doesn't work out, but rejection is your form of, rejection is a form of protection, okay? And with this card saying be bold and make the first move, and it being reversed, this is like, don't worry if your first move doesn't work out. It will work out in the end, okay? So for week 2, the obstacle or the challenge here is the Knight of Wands. So this is like, you want to move forwards, okay? It may be a struggle to move on from the previous week. Maybe we're still having lingering thoughts about that, or it's a perceived loss, okay? The blessing is a new opportunity coming in, the 4 of Cups. We can see that there's a cup behind her that she's not even considering, and a fruit, which is ripe for the picking. Okay, so to me, this indicates that in the second week of November, you may get an awareness of the fact that there's a new opportunity coming your way. And if you're not aware of it by the second week of November, you'll definitely be aware of it by the end of November. So definitely hold out for the end of November. Something new is coming to take the place of the initial disappointment. North Node, first house, and Sagittarius. That's amazing. This is like a change of direction. It's fated. You'll be physically moving. Maybe some of you will be moving house or buying a house or selling. Maybe there'll be a travel opportunity or a new work opportunity. It feels like this is something that you haven't done before, which is really exciting. For week 3, I've got 2 kings here. Okay, so the challenge or the obstacle is the King of Wands, and the blessing is the King of Swords. Okay, so to me, this represents the energy of you going up against someone or something where it's an even match, because we've got two kings. But when I say even match, I mean you have the same power, you have the same authority, you have the same capabilities. Maybe this is someone you're in a relationship with or a friendship, or maybe this is your competition for the new job at work. Because these are two kings, this represents being evenly matched, but this is you in this instance, with the King of Crystals, which is the King of Swords energy. So I feel like you guys are very cerebral, very objective, very rational, very good with your words. But what you're going up against here is brute force, with King of Wands. So someone who is, when I say brute force, I mean they come across more powerful in that they might be very charismatic, or they've just got a mouth on them, like a big personality, squeaky wheel gets the oil kind of thing. So it does feel like there's a challenge in this situation, but somehow I feel excited about it. So it kind of feels like a good challenge. I'm just going to pull a card on that. Emotions are running high. So I feel like this is really stimulating your senses. It's getting the heart rate up. What else could this be about? 12th house, Saturn and Sagittarius. Yeah, so this is like you trying to push through, but not in a very overt kind of way. It's like behind the scenes, like you're doing groundwork behind the scenes to lay the foundation or get the ground, get the soil ready for whatever it is that you want to plant. So I feel as though you are smarter than whoever you're going up against, or you can outwit, or outsmart whatever institution you need to get a loan from. There's another way. Okay, let me be clear. There's another way to get around whatever obstacle you are facing. The obstacle feels really in your face, like maybe someone saying, no, you can't have this loan, or no, we only want to hire people who have X amount of qualifications. Maybe there's another person that you can approach and be like, hey, this person told me no, but I'm pretty sure I'm qualified. Maybe you know someone through the back channels, and you're speaking to someone in the organization or the company. I just feel like you can maneuver around this obstacle. That's week 3. Week 4, certainly good stuff, guys. In the obstacle or the challenge position, I've got the Flower of Life. And then in the blessing, I've got the Wheel of Fortune. So with this being a challenge, to me, the Flower of Life is always a positive card. It's always a beautiful card. It's upright as well. So this is just you being like, holy shit, this is happening. Like, for real, this is happening. So the end of a tough cycle approaches. Amazing. And this says full moon in Capricorn. So I feel as though you get awareness of a situation coming good somewhere between like Christmas time and around the 20th of January. Maybe this is when a new job starts. Maybe this is how long it's going to take for your situation to come good. Or maybe this is when you'll fully accept, like, oh my God, we did it. This is happening. Maybe, you're buying a property that's subject to finance, and you're like, oh my God, the subject to finance is extended for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I just feel like you're getting good news somewhere between Christmas time and like the 3rd week of January. It doesn't have to be, though. We can just take this message as simply as it's put, that whatever situation has felt stagnated from the beginning of November, we can't move forward, we can't push through, it's coming good. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The Chariot, which is, an old school vehicle, not a vehicle, but it's a method of movement, it's a horse-drawn carriage, so to speak. Not a carriage. You know what I'm trying to say? The Chariot is movement. It's reversed. Then we've got the Wheel of Fortune, which represents movement. So things are moving forward. Things are changing. By the time you get to the end of November, you'll be like, yes, I did it. Or like, we got this worked out. Yay. My dreams needed a practical plan, and I put them in place. Prosperity lies ahead. Taurus is the most material sign. It's the most solid. It represents the real world, the natural world. So this is kind of like 3D, like literally Taurus, like you can touch it, you can smell it, you can taste it, you know it's real, you know it's there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna have a look at one card for career, finances, relationships, like love, and family, and then I'll be done. After this, I'm gonna go and eat bagel. Oh, put this card in there. You don't belong there. Okay, so career. What does group 4 need to know? 2 of Wands reversed. Finances. What do they need to know? Yay, that's amazing. Relationship, love, family. Ooh. Okay, so with career, I got the 2 of Wands being reversed. So I feel like you get a do-over at work, a second interview, a third interview, maybe the first candidate that they were going to go with pulled out. And now, this is like, you just get that second bite of the apple. For those of you who are self-employed, the 2 of Wands reversed indicates to me that you may be stepping back from a project just for now while you focus on other things. Somehow I feel like you guys are pushing the pause button on something if you are currently employed or if you own your own business. In the workplace, with the 2 of Wands being reversed, to me, this is just like, hey, there were a few hiccups here. Can you go back and edit this? Can you go back and rework this? Just remember, we will be in Mars retrograde for the whole of November. So that energy makes sense to me. Finances, amazing. This is that money coming through, guys. We had this card at the beginning of the reading, which talks about money, resources, abundance, prosperity, being able to afford whatever it is that you want. The money's coming through, guys. The money is coming through. I'm even going to pull one more card on finances before I move on. I can't believe this reading's gone for nearly 2 hours. This says partnership, okay? Allow healthful, supportive partnerships into your personal life and career, and both parties benefit as a result. You are receiving help from heaven and from a person who brings needed skills and resources. Can't make this stuff up. So even if you don't financially have the money or the resources that you need, you will get it. At the 11th hour, someone's coming through with the goods. So for romance, I got the Knight of Stars reversed. Okay, so this is the slowest moving knight of the deck. If you are in a situationship or dating someone, I feel like things are going a bit slower than you thought. This says adjustments are required. So it's not a no, it's a not right now, or it's a not in this context, not how things are. Things have to change, things to progress, especially if this is a new relationship or if you want to work something out with your partner or with an ex. For those of you who are in existing relationships, I get a lot of stubbornness from you. This is my third bloody Taurus card coming up. As I told you, I'm a Taurus too. So I feel like you're kind of stuck in your thinking when it comes to those of you who are in a relationship or in a marriage. So you need to make the adjustments. I feel as though your partner's energy, somehow I get some reasonable energy from them. The Devil reversed. Okay, so it's like you're maybe seeing them as someone who's getting in your way. They're blocking you, but they're actually coming through with advice, or they're trying to help you in some way. But I feel like with the Six of Crystals, you're just sailing away from this situation. Okay, so you can move on from feeling like they're working against you and they should be with you. I really feel like your partner, if you're in a relationship, is trying to help you, but you're kind of seeing it a little bit skewed. Family, Ace of Crystals. Okay, some very important conversations being had with family. Maybe this is about starting a family, expanding a family, talking to someone who you haven't spoken to speaking to a family member that you haven't spoken to in a long time, reopening those lines of communications. I actually get really good energy when it comes to those of you who want to start a family or who want to get on good terms with your family members. This says blue moon, believe in the impossible. If there's a situation with a family member, or if this is about starting a family and you feel like it's not possible for you, this card here says believe in the impossible. Okay, set your dreams alight and really go for it, because there's actually really fertile energy around you. That's the last thing I want to say with this Taurus energy. This is like gardening, nature, the soil. Like, you can plant seeds for what you want to achieve this month. You guys can go out and get it. So group 4, that's all I have for you. This is the end of my November 2022 tarot predictions. If you enjoyed horoscope, if you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, and please let me know if you enjoyed this tarot reading specifically, because I want to get feedback and just know whether I should continue doing tarot readings on here. I have a feeling I'm going to keep doing them anyway, but anyway, thank you so much for those of you who watched live, and even if you didn't, thank you for watching me. Mwah, mwah, big love, and I'll see you guys in my next video.